Everybody, I wanted to do a 15-minute check-in for all parts of yourself for today's mindfulness moment. I decided each day this week I'll share a tool that I really love, that I use with my coaching clients, that I use with myself to regulate my nervous system, just simply to give everybody in LA a moment of peace and processing. If you show up on Instagram, hopefully it's a nice moment of pause in between all the other headlines, all the news that you're having to keep up with, both in real time and on your screen. So I just want this to be a moment where you can take a breath and slow down and allow yourself to feel whatever is coming up. And please let me know what's most helpful for you. I want to continue to serve in the weeks to follow as much as I can. And also, as I've mentioned on past Instagram posts and stories, if you or someone you know was displaced by the fire, I'm also giving complimentary one-on-one sessions for people who would like to claim those. And that can be to process, to meditate, to breathe, to just have a moment to experience or allow whatever's coming up. So that's also available. So in these 15 minutes, we're going to first acknowledge whatever emotion's coming up. We're going to go through a guided meditation that I really love, inspired by the work at the Hoffman process. It's one of the inspirations of one of their meditations called a quadrinity check, where you get to check in with all parts of yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotional self. And then we will end with a exercise around kind of returning to the love that's within us, that's around us in these small moments. So it'll be a quick 15 minutes, but hopefully a powerful reset. I did this in community on Sunday night virtually for people who wanted to process from the LA fires in community. I might lead another one in the coming week, so stay tuned. But for now, we'll get to do it together. And so the first step is really just like taking a deep breath in through your nose, exhaling it out, and just noticing how you feel in this moment. Noticing what's coming up, what you just come from, or maybe what you just have seen on your screen, conversation that you've just had, and just allowing yourself to slow down and notice whatever feels present in you. And as we embark on this 15-minute check-in, right now, internally, giving yourself full permission to feel whatever you need to feel, however it needs to show up. Giving yourself full permission without any shame, or without any resistance, or how you think you should be acting or grieving, or what you feel, you should have moved through by now, or whatever stories attached to it, letting that all go. And almost like you have a magic wand, and tapping yourself on the head and saying, like, I give myself full permission to feel whatever I need to feel, and I'm safe to feel that. So with that permission granted, go ahead and close your eyes. And we're going to do 3 rounds of box breathing first before we go into the meditation to really slow down our nervous system. And box breathing is in through our nose for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, out through our mouth for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4. So it forms a box. So go ahead and close your eyes and just roll out your head, roll out your shoulders, maybe shake everything out for a second, shake out any residual anxiety. Maybe if you even want to dust it off, or like pull it out of your body. Kind of just taking a second to kind of pull out whatever heaviness feels present, releasing it, and then taking a deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1, holding at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale through your mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let everything out. And then return to your natural breathing, seeing if you can soften even more in this moment. In this moment, know where to be, knowing that as you carve out this time and give yourself this permission to feel your feelings, not only are you helping yourself start the healing process simply just by being here, but you're also allowing yourself to recharge your batteries so you can show up better for others later. So in this moment of total presence, now that your eyes are closed and you're taking your nice, slow, deep oceanic breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, starting to bring awareness to your physical body. Noticing how your physical body feels today. Maybe it's been carrying a lot of the tension from this week. Maybe you've been volunteering a lot or moving things around. Or maybe the stress or whatever emotion from this week is really living in your physical body somewhere. If there's a certain point of tension, breathing in this golden healing light to that part of your physical body, feeling it start to soften. And as you feel it start to soften, just thanking your physical body for all that it's done for you this week, for how it showed up for you, how it's brought you to safety, how it's maybe been a vehicle for you to help others this week. And just having so much reverence and appreciation for your physical body. And then asking your physical body what it needs from you today. What does it need from you to feel restored, or recharged, or nourished? Trusting whatever it says. Letting it know that you can do that. And then saying softly and silently to yourself, thank you, physical body. Giving it a little squeeze, a little hug. And as you feel your physical body relax even deeper, bringing awareness to your thinking mind, to your intellectual self. All of the things your intellectual self has consumed this week, how it's problem solved, just noticing how it feels in this moment. Maybe it feels overstimulated, maybe it feels tired, or maybe it feels super sharp, just noticing. And starting to, in that noticing, bring this gratitude or appreciation or awareness to your intellectual self for how it's shown up and solved problems, for how it's handled the inundation of constantly changing information, for how it's been able to hold space for your needs while also thinking for other people's needs. Just having so much appreciation and gratitude for your intellectual self this week and how it's been working over time. And as you feel that gratitude for your intellectual self, maybe you start to notice your temples softening, your brain softening, like your brain is taking a sigh of relief, able to relax. And then asking your intellectual self what it needs from you to feel safe, to feel restored today. What does it need from you to be able to start to feel recharged? Maybe it's reading a novel. Maybe it's going for a walk and listening to your favorite podcast. What does your intellectual self need from you to feel recharged today? Letting your intellectual self know that you can do that. And then saying to your intellectual self, thank you. Thank you for sharing this. I can do this for you. And as your intellectual self softens even further, uniting with your physical self, bringing your internal awareness to your emotional self. Noticing as you start to bring awareness to your emotional self and how you feel, noticing how old your emotional self is internally today. Does your emotional self feel like they're 5 today or 16, or maybe they feel like they're 85? Just noticing what image of what age of you comes up in your mind's eye when you notice your intellectual or your emotional self today. And then as you notice your emotional self, asking, what can they do to fully express in this moment? What do they need to fully express their emotion in this moment? Whatever emotion you are maybe suppressing this week because you were in fight or flight, or were holding space for someone else, or just needed to be on top of things, letting and allowing that emotion to come out now. Allowing it to be fully expressed. Maybe it's letting out a cry or screaming into your pillow. Maybe it's needing a moment of laughter. Whatever it is, not judging it, letting it fully come up and out. And just having so much gratitude for your emotional self, for all that it's had to carry through processing this trauma the last week, for yourself, what you've been going through, what loved ones and the collective in your home has been going through. And then saying to yourself, your emotional self, reminding it that you're not going anywhere, that you love it no matter what. And imagining that your emotional self just gets to feel that unconditional love from you. And that it knows that you will always be there, regardless of the chaos, the joys, the sorrows. And just telling your emotional self how grateful you are for it, for all that it's carried for you this week, for how it's been there for you. And now imagining your emotional self is your inner child, regardless of what age they were when you checked in. Imagine it morphing into your inner child, who might have been feeling scared or confused this week. And just asking your inner child to express what they're feeling right now. Tell me how you're feeling. I'm here for you. I'm just listening. Maybe they haven't gotten a chance to express this week. And letting them know that makes sense, validating their feelings makes sense. They're safe to feel right now. And then asking your inner child, your emotional self, what they need from you this week to feel seen or expressed. What does your emotional self need this week? Maybe it's a cry, maybe it's a bath, maybe it's just curling up on the couch and journaling, trusting whatever your emotional self says. And then saying, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me. I can do that. I'm not going anywhere. I've got you. And imagine giving your inner child a hug and feeling them relax into your arms, knowing that whatever life throws at you, you will always be there. They always have you. And finding peace and comfort in that constant throughout the change. And as you've brought your emotional self, your intellectual self, and your physical self into harmony, feeling them all lock arms, forming a circle. And as they all lock arms in alignment, each of them feeling heard, seen, expressed, a light beam shoots up from in between all of them into the sky, igniting your spiritual self, your all-knowing, omniscient self, who has always been and will always be. And your spiritual self softly descends from the light beam into the middle of all of you, looking around at each and every one of you, noticing your spiritual self's calm sense of reassurance, their wise energy, so comforting. And asking your spiritual self for a piece of wisdom, of remembering of who you are. Or maybe it's a remembering of who you're becoming that you can carry with you through this next chapter as we all grieve, process, and rebuild. What does your spiritual self want you to know? Once again, trusting whatever they say. And then thanking your spiritual self. And all of you coming in for a hug, you, your emotional self, your intellectual self, your physical self, your spiritual self, feeling all of you hug, feeling that energy from all of the parts of you feeling connected, come up through your feet, up to your root, rooting you into your foundation. Feeling it swirl up through your hips, igniting your creativity in this moment, your alchemy. Feeling that swirl up through your belly button, through your sacral chakra, and up to your Manipura chakra in your navel. That seed of yourself, of who you are, of the strength of you, feeling that ignite and come up to your heart. Igniting this deeper self-love and thus being able to expand your love for others, and in your heart space, sending this love to your neighbors, to your friends, to those who have checked in on you, to those you've checked in on, to the strangers that you've seen on the street, the firefighters you've seen on the news, feeling it ripple out until you feel this love cast a cloak of beautiful golden light all over Los Angeles. And as you feel that love in LA sprinkled from every little cell in your body out, feeling it then come up your throat, clearing your throat to give you a clear passage for your most authentic expression during this time, for yourself, to others. As you feel your throat clear, feel it coming up, touching your third eye, activating your intuition of how to show up for yourself, how to show up for others, how to move forward with deep self-trust and groundedness amidst the chaos. And then feel it come up and out the crown of your head, connecting you to the flow of nature and those around you, moving in harmony as we all navigate this together. And as you feel lit up in each chakra, breathing in with all parts of yourself, breathing in up through each chakra, out the crown of your head, and then exhaling it out, sending it back down through your skull, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your belly button, your hips, your root. One more breath, just like this, breathing in, and exhale, let it go. Softly, when you're ready, just noticing before you open your eyes, that sense of calm, that sense of groundedness. And then envisioning carrying this into the rest of your week. Whatever this week has in store, how can you continue to nurture this energy? And maybe just getting even the tiniest of glimpses of what that feels like or what that could look like, moving through your week with this energy, with this unshakable peace. And as you get a glimpse of that, you can softly now, merging the present with the future, open your eyes, maintaining this energy. And I want to give you a few more prompts or things that you can do to center or check in. You can even internally answer them as I say them. So the first step is writing a letter, or you can say it out loud to your inner child, acknowledging what a hard week it's been, asking them how they feel. Maybe they even respond in the letter. And then kind of at the end of that letter, having that renewed vow to your inner child. I'm not going anywhere. I know it's crazy. I'm going to continue to check in with you. You're safe with me. Giving them that assurance that they need to hear. So taking a few minutes to do that, or jotting it down. Maybe you say it out loud right now. And then once you've done that with your inner child, while it's still fresh, writing down what each part of you said in that meditation. What does my physical self need from me this week? Writing it down and then acting on it. What does my intellectual self need from me this week? Writing it down and then acting on it. What does my emotional self need from me this week? Writing it down and then acting on it. And then what does my spiritual self want me to remember? What are little ways I can show up as my spiritual self? And this quadrinity check, which as I mentioned, I gratefully learned from the Hoffman process, and I'm so forever grateful to. When you act on these little things, these little pings that your intuition gave you during the meditation, however small, even if it's 2 minutes to give your body that TLC that it needs, it's actually strengthening your self-trust during these times of chaos, because it's sending the message to your subconscious. When I speak, like I listen. When my intuition speaks, I listen. When my intuition speaks, I listen. When my intuition speaks, I listen. And in doing this, we strengthen our self-trust for the larger intuition, the larger things. And then we're also able to then hold space even more for other people with this. So you write the letter to your inner child, asking them how they feel, letting them know you're not going anywhere, renewing your vow to them this week, taking note and acting on what you need to do for your body, your intellectual self, your emotional self, how you can continue to embody what your spiritual self said. And then this last part, you can just kind of say it internally or out loud to me while I'm repeating it back. So we end on a note of love. So we've grounded ourselves in this meditation together. We've reflected on what our inner child needs. We've checked in on them. We've let them know we're not going anywhere. And then now we're going to end it with love. So I want you to just answer this sentence, and we'll do it a few times, ping-ponging back and forth, you on the other side of the Instagram. So I'm sending love to blank because, so I'm sending love to whoever pops to your mind first. I'm sending love to them because, right? So someone you might know who's going through a hard time this week, who lost something in the fire, or who's just, really struggling with it, who's having a hard time. And as you say it out loud, imagine them receiving this love and softening a little. And as they receive it and soften, I want you to say internally 3 times out loud, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for allowing me the honor of sending you this love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the second sentence is, I felt love this week from, and it was wonderful because. So I felt love from whoever you felt love from this week. Maybe someone who checked in on you, someone who did something nice for you. And it felt wonderful because it reminded me somebody cares about me, because it took me out of this funk, because it gave me the human connection, whatever it might be. So I felt love from whoever this week, and it was wonderful because. And then once you say that sentence softly out loud, saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sending me that love, for giving it to me, for me feeling it, for being reminded of the love. Then I can even send it out more. And now we're going to do it one more time, or 2 more times rather, but with that kind of, with those 2 prompts, taking it even further. So we just did it for people we know, right? That we directly sent and gave love to. Now we're going to do it once removed for people in like the greater area around us. So now you'll say, I am sending love to blank this week because, right? So maybe it's someone, a firefighter that you saw on TV. Maybe it's a dog that was rescued from the fires on an Instagram post. So saying it out loud, I am sending love to blank this week because. And as you say it, imagine yourself sending that love to them, imagining them receiving it, and them softening and feeling safe in your love. And then saying internally, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the honor of letting me send you this love, and feeling them wrapped in it. And then the last one, I am, I felt love from blank this week, and it was wonderful because. So who is someone that you felt love from that you didn't even know? Maybe it was someone who did something nice for you, or a volunteer who did something that you were the recipient of. Maybe it's a stranger that gave you a smile on the street. Again, maybe it's the firefighter, who you felt their love because they were literally putting out fires for you, or a first responder. So I felt love from blank, and it was wonderful because. Saying that out loud, having them feel the love that feeling the love that they gave to you, feeling it radiate back so much that it touches them, and then saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And with this love in your heart, imagine all of Los Angeles receiving it. Anyone who's ever called LA home or been impacted by LA. Anyone who's had LA in their hearts, like having it go beyond your current community and really feeling connected to everyone in this and sending them all love and feeling the love from everybody being sent back. And amidst, how challenging this week was, one thing that was really clear is the power of community and the desire of everybody to really step up and help each other and be connected in purpose and in humanity. And so feeling the love in that. And as you go throughout the rest of your week, looking for those little moments of when you're giving or receiving love, whether it's to someone you know or beyond someone that you know, and just taking that moment of pause and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because these are the things that we really want to double down on and nurture and water as we're moving into the weeks ahead. So thank you all for being here with me today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this meditation provided a respite and a moment of centeredness and calmness for you. Please let me know how I can continue to support. And as I said at the beginning, if you or someone you know was displaced by the fire, please send me a message. I am offering complimentary healing sessions for people who have been displaced in the coming weeks. So I would love to serve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today and having this moment of connection together. And I will talk to you all soon.